All right. We're recording again. Let's do this thing because we have to. I'm blurry. There we go. How you doing, man?
Wait, start like that. Let's do this thing because we have to.
I mean, it's Thursday. This is what we do. Come on, let's keep rolling.
Today's Friday.
Okay, it's Friday. See, I'm still a little foggy from my COVID because I had COVID. And I'm not stopping. We're going to keep going. Welcome, everyone, to Products of Circumstance, podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men. We cover topics like family and relationship trauma, relationships with money, self-worth, positive thinking, gratefulness, and so much more. I'm not stopping. This show is unscripted, unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly. Only Ken knows what we're going to talk about, and we'll get into that in just a second. But first, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And most importantly, share. Share. There's a notification bell there somewhere, or a subscribe button. Share. If you get something out of this, please share it with somebody who needs some assistance on their emotional journey they might be going through. You never know what people are going through, so just share it with them. All right, my guy.
How you feeling, man? This is your first day back since having COVID. Is your first time catching it? You all right? Because you look a little tired.
Yeah, I'm feeling better. You know, I still have a little bit of cough and, a little chills, whatever. I got my tea, it'll be all right. I'm vaxxed and just been sleeping a lot and, trying to be smart,
That's good. Well, you were missed and hopefully you get better soon.
Thanks.
But all right, let's start this up. Love you, bro. Love
do
you,
it. Love you too, man.
All right, so we're going to go with the impact you leave. And we'll be talking about the impact you leave on yourself and others. So if you were to die today, right, do you believe that you've left, or do you feel accomplished with the impact you've left on others and yourself, including, friends, family, strangers you've met? I know in previous episodes you talked about something you were doing where you talk to a different person every week. You're just a complete stranger, sit down, ask some real questions, some deeper questions than, how's the weather outside? And the kind of impact you left on yourself and others. That's a discussion for today.
Man, I've said this once before, but I was in Grand Central and I was heading home. And I walk in through the doors and I'm heading towards the train. And this lady, she sees me and she curtsied. And I was like, what is this? This is new. I've never had anyone just stop and curtsy in front of me. Like, good day, sir. And yeah, I think I made an impact, on her. What's funny is that she had more of an impact on me. So I still very much remember that. So, I mean, that's like a funny kind of example, but I actually think about this all the time. I really do, because I think legacy is important. And I think legacy goes far beyond children. It goes far beyond things that you create and stuff like that, like impacting people, your ability to impact people on a deep level, to change or shift the way that they think about things. Maybe plant a seed, that eventually grows and creates fruit, yields fruit in terms of like new beliefs and thinking. That I think is actually really hard to do in a positive way. There's plenty of negative impacts that we'll leave on people throughout the world. I'm sure we all have a trail of vitriol and chaos in our former lives that we've left behind. I certainly don't even want to begin to think about the negative impacts that I've had on people in my life. But I certainly try to counter that with positivity and with love. We talk about affirmations all the time. And one of mine is, I don't use words to tear people down. I build people up with words, and I think that having that mindset of always building people up, seeing the best in people, even if they don't see it in themselves, That's like a personal mission for me. Like I believe everybody is beautiful. I don't care what you look like. I don't care like what body standard you do or do not fit into, whatever. Like, I believe everybody in their own way is beautiful. I believe beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that's why I believe there's somebody for everybody, because somebody can see the beauty in somebody else. It doesn't matter what you think. And so if that's true, which I believe it is, then like there's always like redeeming qualities in people. It doesn't matter how bad somebody might seem. Like, there's always something good you can point out and look for that. You know, I try to be the person who doesn't look at like, oh, well, this person is like this and like that. That's what everybody else said.
Right.
What does like their mom and dad think about them? Because they love them. They invite them back to Thanksgiving dinner every year. You know, like, what do they think? What is it about somebody that makes them special? I like to think that God has given me the gift to see the special stuff in people and to just focus on that and to put aside, not look at the other stuff. That's the impact that I try to leave on people, is uplifting them for the good stuff, you know, that maybe other people don't see. There's lots of other impact that I'm sure people can create in life. Maybe that includes making stuff, build businesses, having 10 kids, whatever. But it's maybe not my lot in life. Like, I like to speak, amplify the good that I see in people. How about you?
You know, we're the same way. So I definitely I love uplifting someone and trying to get negative feelings and thoughts out of their head, especially about themselves. You do see it a lot, especially in, you know, the workforce. People are talked down to by their, you know, superiors in many different industries. So it's nice to have someone who's a manager uplift the other employee or whatever it may be. It could be another manager, actually. But I love uplifting people, letting them understand, listen, sometimes you're your own enemy, and it's sometimes because of conflict you've had with, you know, outside forces, not just your own. So it is nice when you can uplift someone and not bring them down and not tear them down. We need more of that. I do believe, all right, so I'm one of those those people that does believe there's more good in the world, but everyone wants to see the train wreck.
Yeah.
So what you see on TV, like, is going to be the train wreck. What you see on the news, what you hear about on the radio, everyone wants the train wreck, right? Watching all those reality shows to see who's going to throw the first champagne glass. Everyone wants to see the train wreck.
That's funny.
But it's nice when you have uplifting voices, right? When you have a circle of friends and family that uplift you and, you know, break those barriers of just negativity. More people need to hear that. Here's something I read. Be the best version of yourself. I wrote that down. Always try to be the best version of yourself, right? Yeah. Your goal, you should have many goals, but one of your daily goals should be better than the person you were yesterday. Mm-hmm. That could be your health. That could be your mindset. I just started a journey myself. I want to cut down 50 pounds. Need to lose it for my health, my care. I want to be here for my children. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to have diabetes anytime soon. I'm getting older. So I set a small goal of, you know, lose 10 pounds a month, which is healthy. My ultimate goal is 50 pounds. That's a health, right? That's for my health, right? To be more positive, because I want to be able to leave, you know, this impact. I want my children to see this positive impact of, look, dad's getting healthy.
Yeah.
All right. And the positive mindset they get to, I put that on them every day. They get to hear positivity out of me on a daily basis. And you know what? I got that from my dad, from my parents. They were very positive. So fortunate. And I believe my kids are fortunate now. I know I'm fortunate to have someone like you in my life. Before we started this podcast, we had these conversations. Yeah. I believe we left positive impact on each other. And that's why we actually enjoyed speaking to one another. Yeah. And why we started this. So another thing, I wrote a couple of things down with this one because it definitely. All right. So you have to push past your limits, or that's where your path ends. So I'm gonna say that again. You have to push past your limits, or that's where your path ends. So if I'm not pushing past my limit, all right, so go back to the weight loss, right? If I'm not getting up every morning, like this morning, I ran 4.5 miles. So tomorrow I want to do 4.7 miles, and then 4.9 miles, and then 5 miles, and then whatever it may be. Fenton, you like to bike ride.
Yeah.
So I know you push your limits on a daily basis as well when it comes to your health, when it comes to your mindset, because even working out in the morning definitely changes your mindset for the rest of the day.
100%.
You get you have endorphins being released in your brain, and that positive energy comes out more. I feel like, again, anyone can agree or disagree with this, but when you do work out, you release a lot of stress as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when you start eating when you work out, you start eating healthier because you enjoy feeling that way. Yeah, it becomes all connected. You start having a positive mindset. So, I mean, again, the impact, like you said before, that I know I leave on people is positivity and just going for what you want, especially in life.
Like, people feel, after they talk to you, I think people feel more empowered to go after what they want, which is why we're two peas in a pod. Like, when I think about myself back on my jobs, I would be like over in somebody else's cubicle being like, so what do you want to do with your life? What do you actually want to do? Because it ain't this. It can't be this. What do you really want to do? And people will tell you. It's funny, if you ask people questions like that, what do you really want to do? What really makes you happy? Most people will tell you very plainly. And then they'll also give you lots of reasons why they're not doing that thing, which is, a whole other story. But that goes back to what we're talking about, like seeing, the potential in people, seeing the good in people, and like amplifying that in a way that maybe they're not able to, or maybe they don't want to, or maybe it's been squashed and suppressed so much over their life that they just, don't even want to access it anymore. My little one is here, as you can hear. And, you talked about exercising. We went to the store the other day, my wife and I and the little one. We bought some weights. My wife and I bought, 8-pound weights. 8 pounds may not sound like a lot, but for all you meatheads out there, you should know that you can get just as much of a pump, okay, doing high reps with low weight as you can doing, lower weights. That's absolutely beautiful. Wow. Amazing, baby. Aw, give me a high five. That belongs in a museum. That kid's going places. And we got little 2-pound weights for our daughter. And when I'm there doing my little weights, she stands right next to me with hers, and she does her weights as well. I bought an ab roller, right?
The ab roller.
The ab roller. Listen, that thing's no joke. It's no punk. I don't let her use the ab roller because, you really need to be able to control it so that you don't injure yourself. But she wants to use it. She wants to do push-ups with me and do sit-ups with me and do everything that I do. She sees a lifestyle of trying to be healthy and exercise and take care of our bodies, and she emulates that. That's impact, right? So it benefits me because I sure enough need to get myself together, but it also is showing her how to take care of her body. Something that's interesting to me is that people are watching you when you don't know that they're watching you.
Oh, yeah.
I can't count like how many times people have told me, I saw you did this. I heard you say that. Oh, I see you're into the cycling. Oh, you're still making music. That's amazing. You never gave up on your dream. Like these things that to me seem just like quotidian and just like mundane. I'm like, this is just my life. This is just what I do with my time. To other people is like astonishing. They see the consistency and the commitment, and they're like, I want that. And I'm like, you can have it. It ain't hard. Just keep doing it. But it's amazing to me that, you think, oh, you don't have a lot of followers, on social media. Nobody's watching. It's a lie. That is a lie from the devil. Don't let your follower count. Don't make a correlation between your follower count and your impact, Because at the end of the day, if you impact one person, two people, let's just call it one person, honestly. If you impact one person through your actions, through your consistency, through your commitment, that's a big deal. It takes a lot of effort. And I know this firsthand because I've been in situations where I've been able to impact people's lives on more than one occasion in like very, very profound ways. I'm not bragging here. I'm talking about how I believe God has used me in other people's lives to create changes in their lives for the better. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. I'm churched. We call it ministry. Okay. You're ministering, you're serving somebody else. It takes a lot of time. I have people in my life that I've had to go pick up when they were drunk and couldn't drive and were wilding out. You know, I've had to stay up with people. I've held people while they were praying to the porcelain gods. I've, bailed people out of some, situations, man. Late at night, early in the mornings. It takes time out of your day. It's draining too. You've been there when people have issues and they have to talk to you about their issues. I don't have an hour and a half, 2 hours every day to be talking to you about your life problems. I got to go to work. Right? It's work. It's ministry. It's a service to other people. It's a sacrifice. So if you have the ability to do that and to impact somebody in such a profound way, first of all, that's incredible. And God bless you. Moreover, if you could do that from afar, through a screen, through a cell phone, why wouldn't you show up every day? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And bring whatever it is that you got to the table so that somebody that you don't know can receive it. Because I'm telling you, people are watching you and they're being impactful. It's a lot less stressful to just get on live every day and impact somebody than it is to go pick them up from a bar at 12 in the morning. I can tell you that from experience.
This is facts. I've been there with you.
It's so true. Impact is easy.
I was not the one at the bar.
Right.
Like, oh wow, so it was Kenny was picking up.
No, the other way around. I was just gonna finish up by saying, like, it's actually easier to create impact now than ever before because of technology. It's so easy to create impact. And being people who believe that everybody has something special in them and there's good in everybody and there's more good in the world than there is bad, like, please take advantage of that. Like, this is your opportunity. Like, don't be like, oh, like, I'm shy. I don't want, I look weird. This isn't my good side. My voice sounds weird. Like, whatever with all that. Nobody cares. We need what you have. So put it out there and create some impact. I'm done.
All right. So I wrote a lot of things down. All right. So you have to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. You have to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. So again, that's going to go back to when we were talking about affirmations. I know all these episodes start to sound like affirmations. It's not a bad thing. It's a very positive thing.
Absolutely.
But if you're not expecting the best, all right. So I know, Fenton, we talked about it one day. You had to do not an interview, but it was you're going to meet someone just to have a talk. And you were expecting like the worst possible situation to come out of it.
Really?
And then you told yourself, why am I expecting the worst outcome?
All right.
Why wouldn't I expect the perfect outcome?
Oh.
Because why talk down in your own brain and then bring that to light? Because now you're expecting that to happen. Why not say, it's going to go wonderful. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to teach each other. And in the end, another business partner, another friend, another contact, whatever it may be. Well, why would you talk down? So how are you leaving an impact on yourself? And that goes vice versa as well. How are you leaving an impact on someone else that you're, talking with, interviewing with, who, whatever it may be, job interview, a good friend you haven't seen in a while, a family member. What kind of impact are you leaving?
Yeah.
So if you're not expecting great things of yourself, right? How can great things happen for you?
Absolutely. How?
Right. How? If you keep expecting the negative and you keep calling out to the universe for the negative. Oh yeah, you're gonna hear me say that a lot, by the way. I'm a big believer in, speaking to the universe. Some people call it God, some people call it universe, whatever it may be. It's an energy, right? Whether it be a being or an energy, a ball of whatever. You're talking to something or someone out there, and the universe, God, whoever your God is, I'm not just saying specific, or the universe talking back to you, that's a very real thing. You have to be a little spiritual. And I know there's the people out there that I don't believe in that. Good for you. Do your thing. Hopefully everything in your life is going positive. I would never talk. Oh yeah, well you're not. You don't know anything. No. But yeah, I do believe in talk good about yourself. Expect great, not good. Expect great outcomes in your day. Expect great outcomes in your life. Expect great outcomes for the people in this world, not just the people you love. It doesn't have to be someone you love. It doesn't have to be a family or a friend. It can be someone you just met or just people in general. Because if you expect great for them, it comes back to you tenfold. Mm-hmm. So that's the impact I feel more people need to leave. And I know I do feel in my heart that people do want to leave that positive impact. Even though if I'm having a bad day, which it's not a bad day, it's a bad moment. I don't take bad moments into bad days. Again, that took some training, but for sure. Years and years and years of training, I've taught myself to keep a bad moment as a bad moment.
Right.
All right. Talk about it for 5 minutes, set that timer, let my emotion out for those 5 minutes. As soon as that 5 minutes is done,
that's it.
Good. Let's move on.
Let's go.
What's next? But yeah, we have to as a people just really need to start thinking of great things and expecting great and wanting great for others. Otherwise, you're stagnant. You're stagnant. Where are you going? Where are you going? When you're a child, my 7-year-old, let me tell you something. My 7-year-old takes affirmations to a whole nother level. Right? I'm getting that giraffe one day. See that giraffe toy? I know we pass it every time we go to Target. One day that's going to be mine. And he talks about it enough. And guess what happens? He gets that giraffe toy.
Yeah, get that giraffe. That's right.
Whatever it may be. Right? Going for a career, a different career, going for a job interview, whatever it may be. Right? You tell yourself enough, that's going to be mine. That's going to be mine. It's mine. I see myself there already. It'll come. It may not be that specific place, but something's going to come.
Right.
If you talk about health, health, you need to stay healthy also. You can't say, I'm going to be healthy and go eat McDonald's every day.
No.
Hopefully McDonald's doesn't sue me for saying that, but they know what's in their food. But you're not going to be healthy. So you also have to act on what you're saying as well. You can't you can't one day just say, all right, everything in the world is good. I'm great. I hope everyone's great. And then the next day you're saying, I don't even believe what I just said. Right. That's not going to help you. That's not going to bring positivity into your world or someone else's, especially people that you love. Yeah. It doesn't help.
Yeah. Well, you gotta, excuse me, you gotta do the work. You can't proclaim, high impact and then be like low input, low effort. That math ain't mathin'. Like, impact requires engagement. It requires effort. And let's use a sports analogy just because everybody understands sports for the most part. It's so basic, but whatever. So you walk onto the court, pick up ball, and instantly the team that was losing, you join their team, and now you're creating an impact. You're passing the ball, you're making some shots, you're defending. You got in the game and immediately made an impact, right? We can all understand that kind of mentality. Excuse me, that example. But it requires effort. You got to make them shots, right? The score just don't change just because you walked onto the court like magically. Like you have to put the ball into the basket. And that guy or girl that's trying to run around you with the basketball and break your ankles, you need to stop them from getting around you, right? You have to pass the ball without throwing it out of bounds or having it stolen. Like it requires a lot of effort. I don't know if people play basketball, but it's a lot of running around. You sweat, you're winded, like it's a lot of effort. To be impactful at anything requires effort. And so you can talk about it, but you also got to be about it. And that's in any aspect of your life. If you say, I want to be high impact in my family, you know, what does that look like? You know, maybe if you're a younger person, you know, maybe it's making your parents' life easier. You know, well, how can you do that? Well, you can clean up after yourself, slob. You know, you can you can stop treating your house like a Motel 6, you know, like room services coming by at noon, you know, and pick up after yourself. You know, you can, you know, take the trash out. You can, you know, whatever. Do some work, put in some effort. You know, if you're in an organization, you're on a day job, you know, you want to be a high impact team player, whatever. All right, show up to the meetings early, take notes, you know, make sure that everybody has what they need so that they can focus on the work that they need to do. Don't be a distraction. Sometimes being high impact means not being high maintenance, right? Or I should say being high impact means not being high maintenance. That's a big deal. You ever see that chart with the 4 quadrants of employees? It's like high output, low maintenance. I'm going to screw this up. But the perfect like employee is high output, low maintenance. Because you have some people that are really high output. They bring in a lot of revenue for the company, but they're super high maintenance. They have horrible attitudes. They're always rubbing people the wrong way. Oh, but they make a lot of money for the company. So, you know, I don't want to rub them the wrong way. I got to, you know, cater to them. Those people are bad for the culture. You know, we tolerate them because they impact the bottom line, but they also impact the bottom line, right? When you think about your impact in the world, in your community around you, like, are you like a high maintenance person? It's like, I was like, yeah, talking to Fenton is cool. Like sometimes he has some gems and stuff, but he's also really annoying. And, you know, I don't really like his attitude for the most part. You know, like, does he have to come to this meeting or whatever? It's like, don't be one of those people. Sometimes being high impact means being low maintenance, reducing friction. You know, friction is a terrible thing. It was bad when you were kids, when you wore corduroy pants. It's bad as let me keep this PG. You want to reduce friction, and as a business owner, I try to reduce friction at all the different touch points with my clients. If somebody wants to get a website from me, it's my responsibility to make sure that it's as easy as possible for them to do that. That's creating a positive impact. So, oh, this is a breeze. It was so easy for me to give him money. You know, when I'm low maintenance and low friction, I can be higher impact. I make it easier to give people my services and my products, and to, you know, to give them something that they genuinely need, that they genuinely get value out of. That's a mindset shift, because that, when you talk about business stuff, you know, some people believe sales is bad. Sales is not bad. Sales is an important part of getting people access to whatever it is that you have to offer, right? It's all just mindset. I have no idea what my child is doing in the fridge right now, but I'm not going to pay attention to that because we're talking about impact. So funny. This is real, folks. We Corona living.
How you feeling? You all right, man?
I'm feeling all right. My throat's getting a little.
All right, so I'll end off with one last thing. All right. So let's do this. You can't change if something goes wrong in your day. Just remind yourself that you can't change it. Take a deep breath and acknowledge that you can't change it. Take a few minutes to vent and move on. It's what I was saying before, right? You can't change what happened. It already happened. It's the past. Right?
It's done.
It's done.
That's why it's called the past.
It's the past.
There's a different word for stuff that's yet to come. It's
right?
It's not the past.
Take a few minutes. Acknowledge it. I'm not saying not to acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. You know, you're a human being. Acknowledge what happened. But move on. Move on. Like Fenton said before, when you don't think people are looking, they are. So if you're a positive person to others, you're allowed to be human and say, something bad happened or something, kind of threw me off course for 2 seconds in my day, 5 minutes in my day, 10 minutes in my day, but I was able to move on. And if the people around you are able to see that, maybe it helps them learn that process as well.
I am muted. I think that it's easy to get like distracted again by like, negative stuff. It's like, man, we keep coming back to affirmations. It's like you have to have a mindset of, being impactful. You have to have a mindset of trying to create change. You have to have a mindset of trying to be a little bit better than you were the day before, so that as you get better, other people will see that you're getting better. Like, all this stuff really just keeps on coming back together. And I think we should stop apologizing for how everything overlaps, because this really is just like a formula that we're giving to people, right? It's like, your thoughts, what you let in, right? What you consume influences your thinking, and your thinking influences your behavior. And it's just this, it's this cycle. And it can be like a really positive, enjoyable cycle, or it could be like a vicious cycle that you want to get off of that hamster wheel as quick as you can. It depends on what you're taking in. When I stopped listening to certain things, when I stopped, doing certain things and entertaining certain things and people, like, life really started to change for the better, because I started thinking better thoughts, and I started having more control over my thoughts, and that yielded different actions and behaviors and habits. And then that makes me a little bit better than I was yesterday. And then people see that, and I can impact people in a better, you know what I mean? Like, this stuff starts with really small changes that ladders up into like the ability to change people's lives, because you changed your life first. You can't change anyone until you change you. Not that it's your goal to change people, but it should be your goal to live the best version of your life and be a light to people who struggle to do the same in their own lives. You know what I mean? We're yeah. We're a beacon. We're beacons. You and I are sitting here talking, and we're putting this out on YouTube. We're beacons. We're hoping that somebody sees this, like a light far off in the distance. They're out in a storm on a sea, and they see the beacon, a light from a lighthouse. You know what I'm saying? And we're hoping that they see this and they watch it, and they're like, oh, there's hope. The shore is not too far away. Guide me. And that's if everybody would do that in their own unique way. Wow. Imagine like how many, it shouldn't just be us. You know what I'm saying? Having these conversations and putting this stuff out there for people to have some hope. If everybody did that, there'd be so much more hope in the world. And somebody sitting around saying, well, that sounds hokey and that sounds cheesy. We need more hope in the world, and we need more love. Yes. Yeah, it sure beats the alternative, because every time I turn on the news, it's pretty macabre. All right. To say the least. This is not good. So, maybe you think it's hokey to turn on the news and see articles about squirrels. What do you call it? What's it on the boat? Remember Ron Burgundy, where the squirrel, the squirrel was on the boat and he was doing the thing. It's like, maybe you think that's corny. Maybe, stories about kittens being saved out of trees is corny to you. I would much rather see that than, people, playing with missiles and grenades around nuclear sites, and people being, accosted at borders. And it's like, no, the world's going in a pretty bad place. Let's get some more hope and love out there, and some hugs. You think it's hokey. I think it's probably what we need.
That's a beautiful way to wrap that up. Actually, I think, you know what? Anyone listening in and you watching this, if you've made it to the end, go give someone a hug. Just give them a hug. And if they ask why, just tell it. No reason. Just want to give you a hug. You'd be surprised what that does. Sometimes people just need a hug.
Oxytocin. It releases that hormone, oxytocin, not Oxycontin. It's not the same. I said that to my wife a couple of times. She's in the medical field. It's like, oh man, yeah, I really feel that Oxycontin. She's like, that's not, no. Look it up.
I wouldn't do with you.
Give me a hug. When I'm COVID free. Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Fenton, always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure.
I'm going to start coughing. This is great.
Hope you feel better soon.
Thanks, man. It certainly will. All right, y'all. Be blessed. Share this. Deuces.